We're going to have a good time tonight. Paul Finney is our chef. He's the owner of October Kitchen, which is here in Manchester. It's a very unique culinary idea, and I'm going to let Paul tell you about it.
All right. Thanks very much, Ralph. You may not know this, but I've known Ralph for almost 20 years. Way back when he was a kid driving around with a spice truck, peddling, and I've always done business with him because he has a great product and a great business, and I'm grateful to be here in his back room. And this is kind of the little peek behind the scenes, but this is terrific, and thank you very much for inviting me, Ralph.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, we're going to start off today with dessert, because the dessert's going to have to actually go into the refrigerator. So I'm going to do my version of chocolate mousse. Okay. Now what I've got over here is a pound of chocolate, nice and warm, nice and liquid, ready to go. And what makes my chocolate mousse good and different is there's no heavy cream. Would that be any good? You'll see. Okay. A couple of the issues that I always have with chocolate mousse is egg whites. People get real fussy about egg whites. They're not pasteurized, so that's an issue for them. So what we're going to do to get around that is egg white powder. I've got a cup of warm water here. That's going right in there, and I need. This is, if you've ever seen this, this is egg white powder. You'll find this in the baking section of your store, and it's a great little product. I'm going to take 2 ounces, which is basically just a 1/4 cup of this. Mix it with our water, and it'll come back. Whip up nice. And make nice meringue for us. We've also got, if you have it, a little dash of cream and tartar is never a bad thing in this. The trick with this is to kind of break it up and get it all saturated with water before you put the beater to it. So you can just do it by hand. Scrape down all the stuff on the edge as it gets going.
Chef?
Yes.
What does the cream and tartar do?
Cream and tartar provides a little acid. It's tartaric acid, and it helps the peaks to form and helps stabilize the peaks. Okay, so while that's going, tofu. Nice silk tofu. Take it out of our container. Try to drain off as much of the water as you possibly can. And this recipe is perfect. A pound of chocolate, a pound of tofu, and you're in business. Keep an eye on this. I want you to scrape it down a little bit on the sides, just to get any of those little chunks or nuggets that are in there.
Chef, how much water was in the egg whites?
1 cup. Alright. Now I like to do this and just keep it right over the bowl, because once you add the chocolate and the tofu together, it's going to have a tendency to start to solidify. But I have a trick for that. Once you put the 2 of them together, if you have an immersion blender, one of these little guys, but you got to really get every little bit of it in there. So you got to scrape it down a couple of times. And boy, it comes out nice and smooth. Quick scrape. Your egg whites, you're going to want to get them to just a little past soft peak. And I don't like to let them sit around too much. So once they're there, they're getting folded right in. There you go. Nice, smooth. Tofu's all disappeared in there. And what the tofu does is acts as the heavy cream, but it lightens it up, gives it a little bit of structure, and adds a little protein to it, which is not terribly a bad thing, so you don't feel too bad when you eat it. I do recommend, if you're going to do this, use the best chocolate you can. Okay, this is good bittersweet Calabo. Now we don't have any sugar in this yet, and the bittersweet chocolate is pretty bitter. So we could use sugar, but I like to use either Splenda or stevia in this. I'm kind of partial to the stevia powder these days. So it comes in the nice big bags, and I think it has just a tad bit of an after bite. So I'll go just a little bit less than what maybe the recipe calls for as a personal taste. That's a half a cup. And let's say that's about 3/4. And then add vanilla. Spicemill brand vanilla. At this point, you're going to want to work quick. And by quick, you're going to fold it in thirds. So take about 1/3 of what you got here. And as you're folding, you're going to rotate the spatula, go all the way under your mix, over and across the top of your mixture.
When are you putting the vanilla?
I'm going to put it in right after my first fold. The first fold, you're going to lose a lot of the loft. The purpose of folding it in thirds, the first third is just basically going to be combining your egg whites with your chocolate, your product in the bowl. The second fold is going to be combining the egg whites to the existing egg whites. Okay? And the third fold, since it's got a lot of egg white already in there, is going to be the one that really adds a lot of your final loft. The egg white powder is not only is it shelf stable and pasteurized, it lasts a long time, and it's good strictly for baking. Don't try to turn it into an egg white omelet, please. It's not that sort of a product. But this, when you get it done, you can make this a couple of days ahead of time. Let it chill. It'll go right in the refrigerator. You can put it in a pastry bag, and you've got nice guilt-free chocolate mousse.